Hello and welcome to Hyper Production with me, Rory. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how to create a drum instrument using Drum Rack within Ableton Live 9. I'll also be showing you how to set it up properly and how to basically map it to your keyboard, so stay tuned. When you first open up a project within Ableton, when you first start it up, you're going to be welcomed with 2 MIDI channels and 2 audio channels. Now, we only need 1 MIDI channel for this, obviously, because we're just creating a drum rack using the instrument there. So the 1 MIDI channel and the other 2 audio, we can actually get rid of. Then we're going to go to Instruments, Drum Rack, and then we're going to click and drag that drum rack onto our MIDI channel. And then we're going to basically start using the drum rack at the bottom here. Now, what this basically correlates to is the keys on your keyboard or whatever controller you've got that's got mapped to either C1 or D1 or E1 or G1, so on and so forth. Now, you can sort of go up by octave by just scrolling up and down your mouse like that, or you can go up and down on your keyboard. And another additional feature to that, if you hold down Command, you can go up by single row. Like that. Now, what you might find is that it's not actually going to scroll up and down with your mouse if you click off it. So you actually have to physically click on this bit here. And then that kind of like enables the scrolling feature like that. So then what we're going to use is actually start using this C2. So we're going to go from C2 here. So we actually want to nudge it down a little bit. So there. So we're going to start there and we're going to start building our drum kit from there going along the keys. So then where else do we need to go? Well, we need some samples to then drag and drop onto our keys. So we're going to go on to Hyper Samples, going to go to Kicks, and we're probably just going to audition a few kicks here, try and find something quite nice. So here we go. Okay, I quite like that one, so I'm going to drag that one to C2, and you can see it opens up sort of the little sample window where we could do some minor edits, fade-ins, fade-outs, and we can also change the length of the note like that as well. But I will be going more in depth into what we can do with individual samples like that. This is purely a tutorial on how to create something quick and easy and start you actually getting some sounds and get you up and ready and doing things like that. Okay, then what we need is a clap, so let's go down to snares and claps, and then we'll just cycle through a few of these. Okay, that's quite a nice little 9090 sounding clap. Then we need some hi-hats. So let's go to cymbals, hi-hats, open hi-hats. We'll go for close first. So let's go for that one there. And then we'll go for a open. So go for that one there. And then maybe just for good measure, we'll add some percussion there as well. So let's go and have a look for some percussion sounds. So let's go for that. So we're obviously getting a bit of a housey vibe. Now, the easiest way to start organizing your samples within like this grid system using the keys is to preferably use the white keys. So that's the way I found it better. So we're actually got some notes on here that we've dragged on some sharps. So what we're actually going to do is move this one to E2, and you simply just move them like that. It's as easy as that. And then we're going to move, so that one can stay on D, and probably move this one to F2. So then we've got it on C. And we've got that one then on D, then we've got that one on E, and then I think we should have that one on F, yep. And then we've got that one on G. So now we're literally just using the white notes. It just makes it a little bit easier to remember where all the notes are. They're all together, even though it might not look like they're all together on there, which can be a little bit confusing. Okay, so now that we've got our sounds loaded up in our samples, you've probably then gone to press the keys, and you're not hearing any sounds. That's because we need to change the monitor settings. So when we've got it on auto, it's going to try and route it to maybe some like headphones or something like that. So what we need to do is actually get it hearing out of our speakers. Then we need to go click on in. And now when you start pressing the notes on the keyboard, you will then start hearing the samples as so. Okay, so it's as easy as that. So don't panic if you're not hearing any sounds. It's purely, you just need to switch the monitoring to the way that's related to your setup. Okay, so we've got a basic drum rack setup there, and now we're ready to start creating some loops and start creating some cool sounds, because the lead up to it is getting a bit boring. So how about we actually create some music, because this is what it's all about. So then what we're going to do is just set up some loop markers, or some loop regions. Then we're going to hit Shift and plus. We're just going to zoom in on this bit here. Now there's a couple of cool little functions and features within Ableton that you can switch on, which then help you sort of record in time and stuff like that. So it's record quantization. So we're going to go to edit, and we're going to go down to record quantization, if that's a bit of a tongue twister. And we're going to go to 16th note quantizing. Okay, so that basically means when we loop or when we start recording something, when it then goes back round or at least finishes the loop, it will then automatically quantize everything. So it's a great way to start actually building up some loops. So we are going to do that. So what we're going to do is switch on the metronome at the top here. Then we also need to switch on the loop function. And then obviously we've got our loop markers set here. So it's always going to be revolving around this 4-bar section. So I'm just going to pull that down so we can actually see what's going on. I'm just going to zoom in a bit further. Okay, so now what we can do is actually start looping. But what will happen when you basically click record is that when the loop finishes and it goes back round, it will then start deleting what you've done before it. So we want to start building some loops on top of each other. So how do we do that? It's simply click this plus button here, and that is it. The beautiful world of Ableton, how easy it is to use. That's all you need to press. Okay. And we've also got it quantized as well. So what I'm going to do is hit record, and then I'm going to start creating a bit of a housey beat, and then we're just going to record and you'll see exactly what I mean. So here we go. Would probably help if I click on record arm, or else it's not going to be recording at all. So here we go. Okay, so it's as easy as that. So you can start creating some really cool loops. Now, one of the questions that you're probably thinking is, how can we get a bit more of a groove? How can we start actually quantizing some shuffle in there? Well, that's dead easy to do as well. So what we need to do is click on the MIDI region, which is then going to open up this window here. Then what we need to do is actually swap the groove out. So I've already done a video in our top 5, basically explaining about hot swapping audio. Well, you can hot swap grooves as well. So basically you need to tell the MIDI region, or give the MIDI region a template of a groove that it needs to work with. So we're going to have this looped round, and then down the bottom here where it says clip, you'll see a little button or a little note saying groove, and then the hot swap feature next to that. So what we need to do is click on that, and then it's going to open up some grooves here. And now it's got an abundance of grooves from classic MPCs, or you can choose traditional hip hop or Latin percussion type grooves, including swing as well. So what we're going to look at now is the swing groove library. Okay. Now what these dictate to, it's not the clearest of labeling, but it's you can get by, is so swing 8, so that's going to basically snap to an 1/8 of a beat, and then you've got the 16ths, then you've got 32, and that's pretty much it. You probably don't need any more than that. And then what the values correlate to after that is basically the strength of that swing. So the higher the value, so 99, say this one swing 8 to 99, that's a really swung groove, so that's basically knocking it out quite a lot. So what you can do is actually just click through them, double click, and then obviously you'll import them in, and then you can sort of just mess around until which one kind of like suits your taste, I guess. So what we're going to do is actually probably start with this swing 16th, because we've got sort of 16ths, so you can hear it going in there. Because we've got 16th notes on our drum bit, or we've got at least a note every sort of 16th, we're probably going to be wanting to use those as well. And then the strength is obviously dictated by the numerical value next to the number 16. So I'm just going to swap them all out, and then I'm going to find someone that sounds pretty similar. I want it to be quite a swung housey beat, so here we go. So you can already hear that that's got definitely a bit more of a swing to it. So then what I'll do, I'll click it off, and then we'll sort of maybe just switch that off. So that's a very rigid sound, and then we can just switch on that swing. Okay, now another cool feature within this little clip function at the bottom here is the button that says commit. So what this will do is actually physically move the MIDI notes. So all these little MIDI notes in here, it will actually move them instead of just playing them as a swing. Now what this is going to be handy for is not only just from a visual aspect that you can see that it's actually doing it, but it kind of forces you to make some decisions and forces you to make that decision and move on. So you're not just kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should tweak that, or maybe I should sort of change this and that. It helps you commit to stuff. I want that groove. I want that rhythm. Let's do it. Let's change it. So that's a real good feature, more from a sort of a mental aspect as well as a practical one. So if we click commit, you notice all those notes just slightly moved off there. And now we are in that groove constantly now without any additional parameters set by this clip function, changing the groove. Okay, so then if we click back on our drum rack here, so this is basically the best way to start making your drums. You can create whatever drum rack you want. You don't necessarily have to use it for drums. You can create synths out of it. So if you download any sample packs and you get kind of one-shot bass hits or one-shot like synth hits or whatever, this is how you create synths out of that. You simply just map them over the various different keys and then tune them differently like that, and it's dead easy to do. So this is how you create drum loops, and this is how you create drum instruments dead quick and dead easy within Ableton Live 9. If you've got any questions about this video, then please pop them in the comments section below. Please don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Equally, if you want to watch any more videos, then head over to our main page and select videos from the playlists down below there as well. So I've been Rory from Hyper Production. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch more, then click on the links next to me and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to find out more information about us, then head over to www.hyperproduction.com and join our mailing list to get all the latest. So I'll see you on another video.